What's going on, everyone? So there was a lot of questions and people throwing out, is Luka Doncic going to leave? Is he going to end up deciding not to sign that contract extension, right? He has no loyalty to the Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks were the team that he was loyal to, and they traded him. So why would he sign with the Lakers? And, well, now we got the report that, hey, Luka is committed. He's committed to the Lakers, and he wants to win multiple championships with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, look, this is something that I've talked about. Now, obviously, nothing's set in stone until he actually signs that contract extension. Is it possible that he kind of holds the Lakers' feet to the fire a little bit to kind of make sure and ensure that they hold up their end and that they do what they're going to do? Possibly. But I think more likely than not, what'll happen is he's going to sign that extension. And look, reports also came out that the Lakers are basically willing to give him whatever contract structure that he wants or would be looking to acquire. Now, the reason for that, and the reason that's even a thing, is because Luka probably is going to sign a 3-year extension. So if he signs a 3-year extension, that'll put him at 10 years. And then once that's done, then he now qualifies for a cap increase. He can get a higher percentage in which he can start to recoup, and even depending on where we're at, even more than what he would have gotten with the extension with the Dallas Mavericks, because he would have gotten a supermax. Well, now, because of Dallas only gets supermax with the team that drafted you, since they traded him to the Lakers, he misses out on all that extra money. Well, if he signs a 3-year extension, well, then now he can go and get that and recoup that money on the back end, on his next, not this upcoming contract, but the next contract after that. So the last however many years he's in the league, 5, 10 years, whatever, he can start to really stack up money. So that is probably what we should expect whenever he does decide to sign the extension. But the good thing is that Luka's probably sticking around. Doesn't look like he's going to depart anytime soon, and we should have him long term. Now, look, one of the things that I said, and I still kind of stand by, is that after that 3 years, right, then depending on where the Lakers are at, could cause him to go, you know what, maybe I need to get out of here, right? If the Lakers haven't put him in a position to win a championship, if we haven't done our end as far as an organization goes, then I could see maybe Luka going like, hey, maybe I should go elsewhere. Maybe I should look at, a Denver and go play with my buddy Jokic or something like that. But as long as the Lakers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, getting the pieces, staying on top of trying to, hey, every year we're trying to win championships. Every year we're trying to be a contender, right? Hold the Lakers' excellence, as Rob Pelinka likes to put it. Right? As long as we're doing that, I don't think he's going anywhere. I could see him sticking around, right? Not just that, but you got to think brand deals and the increase in shoe sales and jersey sales and all these things that he's gonna make a fortune regardless. He'll make more money being on the Lakers than he would be anywhere else. So a lot of the money that he did lose, he is gonna recoup and make, and then some. As he, kind of continues his Laker tenure, right? So money's probably the last thing he's worried about, right? It's just winning, right? You want to build that legacy. And if the Lakers can put him in a position to win, I mean, talk about a guy that could be the face of the league if he starts winning some championships here, right? Because, again, he's on the Lakers. He's got the attitude of LA, right? Talking to all the fans and stuff, and just like that killer instinct, that dog, right? When he's the peak Luka that we know he can be. I mean, if he wins a championship or two, he immediately becomes the face of the league, in my opinion. I mean, obviously we'll see what happens with guys like Wemby and Anthony Edwards, and there's definitely other guys that are kind of in the running for that. But Luka being on the Lakers, right? You're probably going to be one of, if not the face of the league, particularly when LeBron retires, whenever that is. I think LeBron probably sticks around probably 2 more years. But again, we'll see in that regard. But as far as Luka goes, he's got some work to do, right? He's got to commit. He's got to, yes, Lakers are going to pay him, and they should, right? Even a overweight Luka. I mean, look, the guy didn't have the playoff run and performance that we the transcending playoff performance, right? But he still was incredible, right? I mean, you average 30 points, dish out, grab 6 boards or 7 boards and then 5 assists. It's still an excellent stat line that's better than 99% of the league. He's still a top 5 player in the league at worst, even at that version's top 10 player in the league. But we want to see and we need to see him get back to being the Luka that is that transcending star. That one that's like, man, this guy might be the best player in the league. This guy might be the piece we need to take us to the promised land on multiple occasions, not just one, right? Like, he's a Laker now. There is an expectation that comes with being a Laker that you just don't have anywhere else, right? And him winning a championship, yeah, like winning one would be great, but there's still going to be, even if, let's say Lakers win next year, perfect, beautiful, glad we got that one, right? But there's going to be an expectation for the next year and the year after that and the year after that and the year after that. And Luka needs to make sure that he is maintaining, keeping his health and fitness and all those things together, which I do believe he will, right? Like, there were multiple reports from multiple sources that all basically said the same thing, that like, hey, Luka, he was doing extra, exercise, extra cardio, working on extra things coming back from the injury with the Lakers, right? I imagine he's going to get in the offseason. I'm sure he's going to take some time off, right? Everyone does, a month or so, and then start getting into gear, right? LeBron, hopefully he recovers sooner rather than later. So that way, it'd be nice to see LeBron kind of take Luka under his wing and just be like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is where we need to get you. Get him involved with some, LeBron's trainers and his medical team. I mean, look at what they've been able to do with LeBron. So, if he can kind of help guide Luka and help advance him, our medical team, our staff, our training staff, right? JJ Redick talked about, during the closing statements and stuff, that like they want, like, he understands that players have their regime and they have their schedule and they have, kind of their rituals and stuff like that they do in the offseason. He doesn't want to take away from that. Hey, you got your kind of habits that you've built on your preparation and stuff like that. But we also want to kind of create this foundation, create this culture where we're able to kind of piggyback and add to what you're doing, help kind of give you specifics, right, to better elevate your game and the things that need to be worked on. And that should go for everybody, not just the role guy. That should go for the star, right? Luka should be working with the organization and working with the dietitians and the the training staff and all that stuff to really kind of gear him up to get back to being the Luka, right? Nothing wrong with him having a little bit of weight, but there's got to be conditioning and then the cardio and things that we're going to need him to be, and a certain level we're going to need him to reach, especially if we want to try to win, again, multiple championships. He's one of the few players in the league that we've seen him do more with less. We've seen him get to conference finals and NBA finals and just be demoralizing to opposing teams, to opposing organizations, right? That's the Luka we need to see. That's the Luka that is going to be able to lead us to the promised land alongside LeBron James. And, whenever LeBron departs and we get that next star to pair alongside Luka, right? Like, there is a version of this timeline with Luka where we're winning multiple championships, 3, 4, 5, right? And he's going down as an all-time Laker great, right? But there's also a version of this where it doesn't go the way that we want it to. And, and look, again, Lakers organization, they have to hold up their end. They have to do what they're supposed to do in building a team, putting together a roster. You got to go get multiple centers. You got to get 3-and-D guys. Got to get some athleticism, right? Whether it's, finding those little flyer guys that are coming in and, on a prove it deal, look at like a guy like a Jordan Goodwin and how good he was for us for the season. He didn't really play much during the postseason, but during the regular season, he was a guy that really kind of like earned it. And he was the hustle guy, right? Like, find those type of gems. But you also need to hit on some key free agents, pull off a trade or two, right? Like, the Lakers could be in really good shape if they do what they're supposed to do. But in the same breath of the Lakers needing to hold up their end, Luka's got to hold up his. And Luka's got to do what he needs to do in order to be a leader on this team, to be, the best player on this team, to be the guy that can lead the charge and build the good habits and build the good reps and all those things. And if he does that, then again, Lakers could win multiple championships in the near future. Obviously this year didn't go the way that we wanted it to. It's unfortunate. It's never good to see that. But, hey, look, you're not going to win every year. There's going to be down years. Getting and trading for Luka was not necessarily just about this year. Obviously, it was about to give us a chance this year. But it was more so of like, okay, this is going to be a work in progress. Rob Pelinka even talked about it from the moment we traded for him. That like, hey, this is gonna be a work in progress. There's gonna be some work that goes into this, but we'll see how it all plays out. At the end of the day, look, I believe in Luka. I believe that he's going to do what he needs to do. He's got the fire lit. Dallas did everything they could to kind of give him as much motivation as possible. Time to lock in, focus, get into this offseason. Let's get into a good training camp. Get into a good preseason, and then have a good regular season moving into the postseason next year. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mix in the middle. How do you feel either way? I'd love to hear it down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So if you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.